Brett Veach, general manager of the Chiefs, that front office all together, and Andy Reid, because he has when you're that good, when you're that elite of a coach, and also he's in charge of the offense, he's going to be the main decision maker when it comes to if they're going to make an addition to help Patrick Mahomes out. If they're serious about trying to make history in the National Football League this year, if they're serious about trying to three-peat, the first team ever to three-peat in the Super Bowl, it's hard enough to win one. It is it feels impossible, especially in modern-day football, to win two. But the Chiefs did it last year, the first to do it since the Patriots in the early 2000s. If they're serious about stringing together 3 straight Lombardi trophies out there at Arrowhead Stadium, it is going to take a move at wide receiver, because you cannot keep going back to the well on number 15 is going to get us out of this hole. And the hole I'm speaking of is the vacancy in that wide receiver room. Last week, they got away with 10 catches, $150 almost from Juju Smith-Schuster. That ain't happening in 2024 on a consistent basis.
Not sustainable. No, he can be had. The AFC North made sure to remind him that when he was with the Steelers.
Yes. Well, AFC East?
That too.
Or when he was at the Steelers.
Yeah, when the Browns and the Bengals would all bully Juju Smith-Schuster out of the division.
Once he became the number 1 out there in Pittsburgh, it got ugly. But see, he won a Super Bowl post that. So Juju exercised those demons in the Super Bowl run with the Chiefs. And I know Eagles fans and Philly fans and people out there hate to know this, but yes, he routed up James Bradberry. And if Bradberry didn't hold him, then that's a touchdown pass. So you can get mad at the refs for calling that hold in that spot that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl on. But then it's like, okay, you have to give credit to Juju for putting the defensive back out of position in a way that he had to circumvent the rules to get back into play. So Juju exercised those demons by becoming a Super Bowl champion. But to me, it's more so when he went to the New England Patriots and failed. When they brought him in as a number 1 for, I believe, Mac Jones at the time, and he did not replicate what he was able to do with Patrick Mahomes, that's when he lost his Juju. But he's back now with the Chiefs, and it works. Like, Andy Reid likes going out and getting receivers that have played in his system before. That's one of his – I would say that's almost like one of his crutches. He doesn't like to lean heavily on rookie wide receivers early on, and he favors people that know his system well over going out and swinging big for a big target. Like, as great as he is, that's part of the reason why what I'm about to say is likely not going to happen. But if it does happen, it would fortify my belief in the Chiefs actually being a team that can see themselves holding up the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. Today's question is, which team, coming off of Devontae Adams to the Jets, Amari Cooper to the Bills, by the way, also Cam Akers, sneaky trade, Cam Akers, Texans to the Vikings, could be beneficial for them down the line. Coming off of teams making trades that are contenders in the NFL, which NFL team most needs one trade that will put them over the top and make them a Super Bowl contender? And for me, the Kansas City Chiefs have to give whatever it's going to take to go down there to Nashville, knock on that door. Maybe you bring your boombox, play a little country music, play to the crowd there at Tennessee, and say we need DeAndre Hopkins in a Chiefs uniform this year.
You think he still got it? You think D Hop can still be a number 1 option for the Chiefs? Because that's what you're trading for, right? You're not looking for second fiddle to Juju Smith-Schuster. No. Second fiddle to Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce right now does not look like a number 1 target, if you would. You're looking for a number 1. You think DeAndre Hopkins still has it in him to be the number 1 receiver of a contender?
Yes. DeAndre Hopkins has it in him, and the reason why we haven't seen it out of him has more so been about quarterback play. Now, I don't think that's a Hopkins issue in Tennessee as much as it is a quarterback issue. Remember when Will Levis started off his campaign, his very first game with the Titans, and he was slinging the ball down the field and trusting Hopkins and going to him heavy? Didn't he have like 3 touchdowns that game? I think so. DeAndre Hopkins himself had 3 touchdowns in the Will Levis debut, and they were all 3 of the touchdowns that Will Levis threw. This year, the Titans' offense has been a bit of a shell of itself. The strength has been the running game, and DeAndre Hopkins has failed to get over 7 targets in any of the first 6 games or 6 weeks. I believe they've only played 5 games. They had a bye week. They're 1-4 right now. Hopkins should be made available by the Titans if the offer is high enough. The problem with the Hopkins trade right now is the Titans are still trying to develop their young quarterback. Like when they put Will Levis out there, they want to keep Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd. There's a reason why they went out there and surrounded him with wide receivers, because they want to know what they have in Will Levis, because there was a risk drafting him. There's a reason why he slid in the draft coming out of Kentucky. But also, you don't want to trot him out there with like what the Panthers were giving Bryce Young, and then you really don't know if it's your fault or his fault. So I think they want to keep DeAndre Hopkins, so I do believe the Chiefs might have to overpay for him. And that is why I say, if you're serious about winning a championship, there's a lot of rumors out there right now that the Chiefs are just going to go out there and re-pick up Marquez Valdes-Scantling, MVS. Which, again, if you guys don't remember who that is, he's the guy number 11 who he was with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Then he was with the Chiefs, and he dropped a bunch of balls. I'm not sure how much of a deep cut MVS is these days.
No, I was going to say, well, the Chiefs better scoop him up before the Jets do, because that would make sense for New York to just recreate a kind of middle-of-the-road minus Devontae Adams Packers receiving core.
If the Jets go out and get Marquez Valdes-Scantling, because they're going to probably get rid of Mike Williams, right? Like, he's done.
I mean, he got the death blow from Aaron Rodgers and the damning words for sure.
And Aaron Rodgers right now is like either like the spoiled wife or the baby child to the Jets. Like, he gets whatever he wants. Whatever he asks for, whatever he yearns for, whatever he hints towards, he gets what he wants. They fold at every single need for Aaron Rodgers. And again, I ask, since when did Aaron Rodgers become the LeBron James of the NFL? Since when did Aaron Rodgers deserve to have the keys to a franchise? Since when should you rely so heavily on a guy who has clearly not shown us that he deserves to have that, hasn't won a Super Bowl since, what was that, like 2011?
I believe his last Super Bowl came earlier than Eli Manning's last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the year before that one.
You know how many dudes got rings since Aaron Rodgers has? He has one. I think he's third all time for playoff losses. Like, I'm not doubting him as a person that is prolific at throwing the football, but come playoff time, year after year since he won that Super Bowl, he's not shown himself to be the kind of guy where I would say this right here is going to lead us to the promised land. Bet the house on this guy right here. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers. Like, discount, double check, all of that nonsense. I mean, if we're throwing Hail Marys, then yes, sign me up. But to win a Super Bowl, that is the most confusing part of all of this saga in New York, and I guess it makes sense because it's the Jets, is they're hanging their hat and the future of whatever they have going on right now all on a dude who not only is volatile, not only rubs a lot of his teammates the wrong way, but also doesn't make up for it with play on the field.
Yeah, if he was an instant, the LeBron James effect that you see with the Lakers and with the NBA, where, okay, you get this one guy on your team and you automatically shoot up the odds ranks in terms of favorites to win a championship. Aaron Rodgers has not done that for his team.
No. In fact, the Packers got rid of him and got better. The Packers got rid of Aaron Rodgers and immediately got better with a first-year starter. Same coach, same wide receiver room, same defense. They got better. They won a playoff game in Dallas. Remember, Aaron Rodgers' last year in Green Bay, it was the failure against the Lions in the last week, which propelled them into now a contender in the NFC. Like, it's the Jets. I mean, it ain't no sweat off my back. It ain't my team. It ain't my franchise. I might have picked them to win the AFC East this year because I finally drunk the Kool-Aid, but now I'm drunk. And I realize it. And I got to back off all the Jets stuff. I think, again, when I look at Bengals and Jets, who can make that last wild card spot in the AFC, I still bank on the Jets to be able to do so because I'm that out on the Bengals. But banking on Aaron Rodgers to be a guy that gets you a Lombardi just by bending to his every need, not the route to success that I would assume you would want to have. What is the one team? What's the one trade in the NFL that can turn a team from on the precipice to a contender? Which team in the NFL is one trade away from a Super Bowl? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. To me, it's got to be the Kansas City Chiefs going out and getting DeAndre Hopkins. Him specifically, not Deontay Johnson, who is likely going to be most readily available. Not him, because he's a guy that hasn't proven himself to be a guy that can win down the field more. He's an underneath guy. Look at his depth of target. He's averaging like 10 yards per catch. Good red zone threat. Not enough, though. You need a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. I wish the Chiefs would have went out and got Amari Cooper. Stop wasting years of Patrick Mahomes. Stop wasting one of the best talents, if not the best talent we've ever seen at the quarterback position by just saying, oh, he'll figure it out. By the way, the Bills realized that Josh Allen couldn't figure it out without a number one. Nobody wants to talk about that. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to call in to Theoretically Speaking. Which team is one trade away? What's the one piece that a contender on the precipice can trade for before the November 5th trade deadline in the NFL, and they will instantly be a team that you say, hey, that Lombardi's theirs. Super Bowl in New Orleans. They'll be there and they'll win it. Again, hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County all the way through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Which team is one trade away from a Super Bowl? The Jets felt like they were. They got Devontae Adams. The Bills felt like they were. They got Amari Cooper. I'm sure there's one on your mind. 888-760-3776. We have Devontae in Atlanta. Devontae's in Atlanta. He's a Falcons fan. First off, Devontae, how you doing on this hump day, on this Wednesday, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing absolutely solid. Had a riveting event last night, so I'm feeling good, feeling the waves of the fans that pulled up and kicked it with us. You believe in Kirk Cousins. You believe in that Falcons offense. Are you going to give me a Falcons trade right now?
Yes, I would say that. I think if the Falcons could go get a defensive end, maybe like Max Crosby or somebody, which maybe unrealistic, but someone like Myles Garrett, if we all in, let's go in then. We got everything we need. If we want an actual chance at the Super Bowl, we need to get more pressure.
So Matthew Judon wasn't enough.
Huh?
Matthew Judon not enough already, man? That was the big deal. Remember Justin Simmons, Matthew Judon? It's lit.
Yeah, no. We look good.
Hey, whoa. Sorry about that. We're gonna have to check back in on him to make sure he's good. That's the second time I think Devontae's crashed out on our airwaves here on Theoretically. Devontae, are you okay? Okay, let's get him out of there. His phone crashed out. Last time we realized it was not an accident he got into. So we're going to fingers crossed that it didn't again. What did it sound like to you right there?
It kind of sounds like all of a sudden he threw his phone out the window and it skid on 95. That's what that sounds like to me. Whenever Devontae from Atlanta's phone crashes out in the middle of the phone call while he's on the air, that's what it sounds like to me.
It does. Almost like it's tumbling down the road and he's trying to chase it after he parked the car. Yeah, like other cars are running the phone over. Like, what the hell happened right there?
You want the Chiefs to trade for a receiver, and specifically you want DeAndre Hopkins. I saw a great comment on our YouTube channel brought to you by Prize Picks. Use code TheoD. Get a free $50 on Prize Picks. Cade Shumslin, of course, ESPN West Palm reporter, he said that I would rather overpay for T. Higgins than DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't like his vibe.
What?
I don't like his vibe. I don't like T. Higgins' vibe. I also don't think what the Bengals would charge us, right? And I'm saying us like I'm part of the Chiefs. But you know what? Birthrights, baby. Born in Kansas. What the Bengals would charge the Chiefs to trade them a number one receiver, like in T. Higgins, like a team that they think they're competing with, which, again, they won't be making the playoffs, so they're not. But they think they're – like there's no way T. Higgins – what it costs to take T. Higgins, and also whoever the Chiefs get, it needs to be a one-year rental. You can't afford to pay a number one receiver. That's how they got in this whole fiasco in the first place. That's why Tyreek Hill is a Dolphin. So whoever it is, it needs to be a veteran, a one-year rental. T. Higgins is not a good fit for Kansas City.
And do you think that if the Chiefs do not make one of these moves that you think they need to give Patrick Mahomes an extra weapon, what changes it for the Chiefs? Because right now, if I were to guess, we're going to talk about this later on in the show, I'm going to read your mind here, and you still right now think the Chiefs will three-peat. What changes with their offense and what changes your expectations if they do actually add someone to the receiver core?
If they add somebody to the receiver core, I'll feel more confident in it. So you're asking me what if they stand pat, how do I feel about the Chiefs?
Yeah.
If they stand pat, here's the thing, like the margin for error, when you're trying to win a Super Bowl or a championship in any sport, it's all about margin for error, right? You have to save for injury. You have to save for the luck of the draw, the bounce of the ball, a fumble, an interception, something untimely happening. So the margin for error for the Chiefs immediately will shrink by so much that I think it will be anybody's ball game, right? Like
one muff punt, all of a sudden the Chiefs lose a possession and free 7 points somebody else. That could be the deciding factor.
Because we know what Juju Smith-Schuster is. And again, for those that don't realize how dire the Chiefs situation is, everybody remembers the Rashee Rice loss because that happened publicly in our face, right? Like Patrick Mahomes, after throwing an interception against the Chargers, dove at legs trying to get a tackle and ends up hitting Rashee Rice in the knee, taking him out for the season. He's done. Rashee Rice, who was a star not just in fantasy football, but the number one option for Patrick Mahomes, not just this year, but last year in the Super Bowl, he's done for the year. Also, the veteran rental receiver that they went out and got this offseason, Hollywood Brown. He didn't even play a snap this year. He's out for the year. Like the Chiefs did not plan on coming into this season down those. Those are supposed to be the two top receivers. Xavier Worthy, the rookie they got in the first round, was supposed to be number 3 for them. So if they are without their top 2 expected weapons this year, then no, I don't expect them to three-peat. I just don't expect them to be a favorite to do so. If they would do so, it would be a miracle at that point.
Especially with this version of Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he's a shell of himself.
If this was the prime or even later end of prime, maybe 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, I still think that they would be the favorites with him as the number 1 target. Not number 1 receiver, of course, but at tight end, if he was the one getting the most targets on the field, I still think he would give the edge. But I think you're right. Kelce's a shell of himself, as you mentioned. The only reason he's getting targets is by default with the injuries to the receiver core. It looks hairy, but then in the AFC, it's kind of dangerous, no?
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous right now. And what I will say about the Kelce targets, because that's been part of it, right? Like, part of it is he's getting those targets now because there's a lack of receiving weapons. The other part of it is they're having to lean on Kelce earlier than they want to. So Kelce's not all the way washed. Because part of, like, when people talk, like, you think, when you talk to older athletes, guys on their way out, like the LeBrons of the world or whatever, the Vince Carters of the world, they still got it. But they can't do it week after week, night after night. So Kelce can pop for a game or two here, but it's the exertion that it takes for him to do that well, to play that well, that's going to kill him off for the weeks to last. So, like, the fact that the Chiefs are having to lean that heavily on Travis Kelce now means that they're doing it earlier than they would like to, which, again, is detrimental to them trying to make a Super Bowl run. So that's why I'm like, you have to go get a target. And what I fear, C-Cat, is going to happen, they're going to roll MVS back out there, Marquez Valdes-Scantling again, and they're going to just say, hey, make the magic happen. Patrick Mahomes, we don't have a proper nickname for you because I don't think we can keep doing the magic thing. I had some stored up, but one of these days we're going to roll out my Rolodex of nicknames that we're going to try out for Patrick Mahomes. But whatever it is, they're going to just try to lean on his magic again. That's what I fear is going to happen. And to me, not just as a Chiefs fan, but like I feel like all of the football world is getting robbed of prime Patrick Mahomes seasons because the Chiefs are failing to surround him with the kind of talent that can be more tantalizing to watch.
Yeah, seriously, we could be seeing Patrick Mahomes win back-to-back Super Bowls. No, we are doing that already.
It's not been fun. It's not been as fun.
Shut up.
It's not been as fun to watch on a Sunday-to-Sunday basis.
Full of garbage. I can't believe you have the actual just cojones to talk on the air right now to all of these poor,
my fault you chose those teams.
Impoverished NFL fans that are thinking, you know what? I think we can make a run. We can make the playoffs this year.
That's cute.
You're talking to Dolphins fans who are waiting for their first playoff wins in 24 years. And you're saying, you know what, these past 2 years as a Chiefs fan, it could have been so much better. Shut up.
I'm not talking, when I say that, though, I'm not talking as a Chiefs fan. I'm more so talking as a fan of the game of football. Like, watching they have the most tantalizing weapon at the most important position in all of team sports. It would be nice to see him with a toy that would be fun to play with.
We got that early in his career. We got the Tyreek. We got the Mahomes.
But why would you want more of it? You don't want more? I'm greedy. I want it all.
You know, it's difficult to keep 2 stars like that together because of a salary cap league.
Go get DeAndre Hopkins. You should have went and got Amari Cooper. And if the Chiefs stand pat, if they roll back out Marquez Valdes-Scantling, then it'll be their fault that the Chiefs move on without that 3rd straight Super Bowl. When are you ever going to have another chance to do something like that? That's history. They'll never win 2 in a row again.
This is just shameless. This is like an evil. Yeah, this is awful.
Yeah. I don't give a damn.
I feel bad for the audience right now.
Audience, I love you. but it's the truth. You know it too. You would like to see Patrick Mahomes have some better tools to play with as well.